Have you ever been sitting at home thinking, wow, I would really like to watch a film about a guy who is just like a dad who cuts grass in his white shoes. They turn green over time.
Call me Otis.
He ends up being a serial killer. Well, we've got the movie for you, American Paradise.
Is it a nightmare? Or is it real?
Basically, this is a group of people. They're going on a wilderness adventure.
Why?
They don't explain it. They're learning how to just be in the wilderness.
You're gonna learn how to cook on an open fire. You're gonna learn how to build a shelter.
Well, I want to learn how to make a teepee.
Who's teaching this course?
Otis, he is a wilderness expert who owns a bunch of land, potentially thousands of acres, potentially hundreds of thousands. We couldn't tell because his son was cut off mid-sentence.
I got a lot of land out here. 100,000, about.
So this regular looking dad guy, he just owns a bunch of land. He's given offers by some other guy, and he's like, nah, I'm keeping it.
I am not selling my property, and I am not in foreclosure.
And then a bunch of these kids just like go off into the wilderness, smoke weed, and they find that there's oil on this land.
Oil, Ashley. This is fucking oil.
They're gonna get investors so they can buy it, so they can get the oil, so they can get rich, but they're already rich, so none of it matters.
Who gives a shit if there's oil if there wasn't?
And why would you care? You're rich already.
So are you.
Yeah, and I could always be richer.
All of these characters are like, I'm so rich, I don't need any money.
I was rich when I was born, and I'll be rich when I die. I don't give a fuck.
All of a sudden, they're like, we need to get this oil and we need to sell this land so we can make more money. But you guys already said you're so rich that you never need a job. That's why you're in the wilderness, just you want to live off the land.
Do what Otis does, just live out here in the woods.
His name is Weber.
It's Weber.
15, 20 minutes into the movie, we find out that he's trying to be a doctor.
You're fucking made to be a doctor. I'm gonna live like this.
But this guy is a stoner.
I'm ready for life, dude.
All right.
I'm gonna fucking bark at the moon, fucking howl at the clouds.
He doesn't seem like he's from Dr. Stock.
Mind you, you don't look like you have your master's.
I don't have a master's.
In computer science.
Bachelor's. See? I look like a piece of shit, and I am.
You have the same mustache as the guy.
Prepared to make an offer.
Are you? Get the fuck off my property. That's my offer to you.
He also kind of looks like Tom Green's dad.
So to show my parents how much I love them, I've turned my parents' vehicle into more than just a vehicle. Dad, it's a present. It's
right.
It's a present.
Well, it's completely untasteful and ridiculous.
When you were a kid and you had a buddy who had a dad who was kind of like angry all the time and unapproachable and just like in his fucking garage or something, that's Otis.
I didn't have that, but I understand
I
that.
had like 10 of those, maybe because I'm from Windsor.
Right across from Detroit for anyone who's not Canadian, which is 98% of our audience. Yeah, not a lot happens. There's not a lot of kills. There is some nudity.
Like the entire shot is like full screen nipple. TVs these days are like 65 inches. I'm seeing at least 50 inches of nipple diameter.
I did like that.
It's weird, it was too close.
Yeah, there's a lot of really too close shots of just everybody's eyes.
I think personally, this movie was shot perfectly.
Literally every shot, somebody was cut out of frame. It was fucking weird. I felt like this movie was shot for 4x3 and they just zoomed in and stretched the screen.
Yeah, there was
sometimes.
lots of stretching. There was stretching involved.
Most of the time, the characters are just like paired off and they're just smoking weed randomly. Like this one guy, who's one of the main guys, Weber, he gets kidnapped by Otis. He knows who he is. He cuts off his finger and then immediately is like, maybe he's just a nice guy.
Yeah, maybe he was a victim of circumstance.
Uncle Sam testing out psychotropic drugs on troops. That's not fucked up? He's a victim.
Meanwhile, he has a finger cut off.
His buddy Fig, I think is his name. But this guy like comes in, he attacks the bad guy with a stick. He just looks at this photo album in the killer's like place, and the two just decide to like roll up a couple joints, sit there and smoke them for half the time. Then it cuts to a couple other girls that are just like,
smoke a joint too.
And kiss. It is funny when you cut back and you see Weber like just turn to the other guy and you're like, are they gonna kiss too? Because that doesn't happen that often.
And why not?
I feel like it should. This movie does have like the most terrible acting.
Weber, You didn't even bring my fucking contacts.
Babe, I can't even fucking pack my own shit.
It's 100% improvised and one shot every time.
It was kind of like what Otis was saying, man. Like someone gives you some fucking land to live off of, or like someone just hands you a fucking game and you play it, you know?
Yeah. And it's extremely noticeable right out the gate because we meet Otis's son who's on the phone with him.
I'm the one working my ass off every day, out hoeing the land and, you know, sprucing the hedges.
I think what's weird is like they didn't even try to hide the fact that it's this guy. Like there's no red herrings in this movie. It's just, hey, that's the guy. He's the killer.
You're Mrs. Bluebeard, and you will not like what you found.
This is just like my friend's dad. Like, it doesn't matter. These fucking fit young 20-year-olds could take him.
It's the dad strength. That's the superhuman power.
Yes, that's...
You put on those grass-stained white New Balances and you are fucking primed to go.
Have you ever heard the term old man strength? He got that old man strength.
I'd like to walk you through the most awkward part of the film. Our dad. Not our dad, we're not brothers. The dad comes across one of the girls and he just rolls up on her and he like kneels down and he just grabs her boobs. And it was the most awkward thing ever.
Just the way nature intended.
It's like, am I watching a Beelzebub film right now?
I like grabbing titties too, but it's weirder when that guy does it. When he's 40 years older than the girl's titties he's grabbing. But sometimes the camera is a little bit wide and you can see he's just rubbing her arms. It's just so fucking strange.
I don't want to be rude. He's a good guy. I think he did a good job, honestly.
You look down on the disabled, huh? Then speak to me like I'm like you.
Like the bad parts, you know, where it make him seem over the top acting or whatever, I think it wasn't necessarily his fault.
This is your American Paradise.
Another director, another producer, whatever, I think he could have been a contender, Charlie.
I could have been a contender. I could have been somebody instead of a bum.
We're just gonna move on to our final thoughts, I guess, so we can get this video over with. Editor Jay here. I just wanted to pop in and let you guys know how this movie ended because we didn't talk about it. We were kind of drunk and kind of bored and sick of making this video. In the last 5 minutes, the dad guy just goes on a killing spree and kills everybody. And remember that guy from the beginning who was trying to buy all the land? He comes back in the last act.
There is oil seeping from the depths of hell right here, and it fucks you.
He disappears until the final scene of the movie. His clothes are all ripped, there's blood, it looks like he's been in a fight, but he actually hasn't been. Seemingly he's just killing him so he can steal the land. And that's it, then the movie ends. I'm so sorry. I know this has turned out to be a disaster.
Apologize to them. We watched the movie, how are we supposed to know? It had a good thumbnail. Why the fuck are you watching this?
I'm gonna give this 0.5 unemployed shirts.
0.5 briefcases that I had in my actual wood-paneled basement out of 5.
As always, thank you for watching. Like this video and comment below with your thoughts on this film, which you have never seen. If you do want to see it,
check it out.
Links are in the description. And please subscribe. We have way cooler and better videos than this one. This was a dud, but it's the problem when you just film a video for everything you watch. Stick around for more Bloodbath TV.
They can't all be dick sharks.
I love my land, okay? I love the outdoors.